Kaushalendra, welcome and congratulations on the Young Alumni Achievers Award. What does this award mean to you?
I am humbled to be recognized as Young Alumni Achiever. And it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot to be honored by IIMA. That has provided me, I would say, super solid foundation, which in turn has enabled me to accomplish so many things in life. I shall be eternally grateful to IIMA for providing me this super solid foundation. And it's always a great pride in saying I am honored by, I am recognized by, my work is recognized by my alma mater. It is the most precious thing that happened in my life.
Yeah, that's great to hear. It's been you graduated in 2007, right? And were you able to come back to campus sometime after that? When were you last on campus?
I usually visit the campus once in a while. I think I last visited the campus in 2019. Actually, Professor Neil Gupta had organized some kind of workshop and meeting on social entrepreneurship, and he wanted me to be there to speak to social entrepreneurs coming from different part of the country. So I was there at that, and yeah, in 2019 I was.
Okay. So just before the lockdown, which is good, of course. So what are your fondest memories from campus, of course, during your student days?
Fondest, I think each and every memory that each and every moment that I spent at IIMA during my graduation days are the fondest. It's very difficult to choose one of the memories, you know, because each day uh, I learned something new. Each day was an experiment. When I look back, so I realized, okay, each day we were experimented on by faculties and IIMA, and each day was an experience, and it was a positive experience. I gained a lot of progressive knowledge, confidence from the teachers, friends, classmates, dorm mates, peers, and IIMA not only shaped my professional life, my career, it also taught me how to live meaningful and ecologically sustainable life. As a social entrepreneur, as a son, as a brother, husband, father, and as an alumni. And since you have asked me to choose the fondest, so I think it is the study group meetings that have a special place in my heart and my mind. From those study group meetings and study group assignments, I learned actually to cooperate, to collaborate while competing with each other. And our group members, Suhankar Das, Mixo, Rahul Dasri, Maxi, Varun Gupta, and Abhishek, we had a lot of fun and banter going around, and we were the one in the class who used to take least possible stress of the assignments, least possible stress, and we casually used to meet and complete the assignment in most fun way. And other memories which is found is like when I found that everybody is in awe because I an FABM student, Agri Business Management student, has scored highest marks in cost accounting course. People generally think a person from agri business doing agri business, uh, they will not score a good marks at finance courses. But when I scored highest, yeah, it was like people were but yeah, they came in terms. And other one more stuff that I like to talk about in like there were moments when I cried at IIMA during those 2 years. Uh, like when I scored eighth grade, -2 marks precisely in first quiz of economics, and I cried a lot, and I was like inconsolable, and then your dorm mates come, group mates, and say it's normal, it's common. Hey, look around, there are many who have scored eighth grade, not in economics but in other subjects, and that made me very humble, and I did score A grade in subsequent tests of economics. But I think all those, there are so many memories. But since you asked me to choose some of those group meetings and all this, yeah, each and every moment there was pleasant and happy. I can like my wife is like fed up with me. Like you always give examples of IMA. In any scenario, you give the examples of IMA. So, did you live your entire life over there, or hey, are you living the repeat life with us? So, yeah.
Interesting. And your journey is of course very unique, and the subsector you chose is even more so. Um, and you previously mentioned elsewhere that during your IMA days, you were part of a group of faculty and students that used to regularly discuss ways to ensure social and economic upliftment of different regions. And you knew that Bihar had the potential to turn into the vegetable capital of the country. Can you share more about that group, the discussions that you had in those groups, and if it did, and how it did? How did it help you coalesce the idea of jumping right into selling vegetables right after graduation?
Uh, I must be very thankful to Professor Piyush Kumar Sinha, sir. I owe a lot to him. He was the one, he was instrumental in and motivating and bringing together like-minded students and faculty to form social interest group. I interest group around social issues and interest group around so-called backward states of like Bihar, Jharkhand, UP, MP, Rajasthan. It was still informal in nature, but we used to meet religiously every week. We used to meet, we used to interact and discuss on various social economic issues of backward regions. And it was more action focused group where we all, like each of us, wanted to contribute actively in those regions in whatever way could. Some were thinking about like me getting into social entrepreneurship. Some were like, if I get the chance, I will go there, work as a faculty, work as, I will choose my appointments over there, my job over there. So in those stuffs, and we used to discuss a lot. And in one of those meetings, the idea of a vegetable value chain crop up, and it took shape subsequently. I, Om Prakash, Vaibhav Moria, Abhishek, and others. We all worked together in giving this idea a shape, a form. In fact. The last 2 months of my graduation, I started interacting with potentials, uh, funders, potential loanee who could lend money to this idea. And one of our first financier was Friends for Women World Banking, based out of Ahmedabad, and they funded us. They, they were the first funders. So it took shape over.
Mm. And so that that it's good to know that you know uh, as I've heard from a lot of people that many of the initiatives that started that we know of now and are fairly well known all over are the idea germinated right here on the campus, and there were lots of discussions that happened during those days that helped them take that step.
Mm.
So this is a really interesting and valuable piece of information that really validates a lot of the things that many people have been talking about.
Mm.
Um, And your work as a social entrepreneur is, of course, very widely acclaimed. And the Farmers Cooperative Samriddhii and Kaushalya Foundation are well known in this space.
Hmm.
Samriddhi, of course, created a supply chain by procuring fresh and organic vegetables directly from the farmers. And by some accounts, you have touched the lives of around 35,000 farmers and provided jobs to hundreds of unskilled people. Overall, when you look back at all that you've achieved so far, how would you describe your journey so far?
Uh, Amazing and very satisfying. In two words, I can say amazing and very satisfying. I never dreamed that I will get so much love and affection from thousands of people. Uh, when I started, I never thought that one day this model could become a policy of the government. This model could inspire others to take this route of social entrepreneurship. This our work could inspire others to return back to their home states, to their homelands, and to do something over there. Each and every moment has been very, very satisfying. Very satisfying. I love all those last 14, 15 years of my life. It has been an amazing journey. I never realized that uh, those 15 years, how it passed actually. And yeah, thanks to each and every person who were part of this journey. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And how difficult? I mean, it must have been a difficult journey, of course, but how difficult initially was it to convince farmers to associate with Samriddhi? I mean, how difficult was it for them to shed the old approach and try the new approach that you were proposing? And were there any short-term or transitory shocks to their incomes? And how did the new approach help them overcome it? And could you share some more details around that?
Um, More than income shock, it was like more social shock to them. Uh, like it was very, very difficult for them to accept me personally and thinking process and approach. They were not used to this. Like it was like, and I was always like, and even today I am like always like it was their natural reaction. How come you somebody believe in somebody who is coming to their village who doesn't know about vegetables, who doesn't know how to grow vegetables and talking big stuffs? It's very difficult to believe. And when you are living in a society where you have this precedent that when you have somebody who are uh, highly educated or getting good education from a reputed college, they must not come back. It was difficult for them to digest that a person from IMA have actually returned back to the villages and sitting with them and want to work with them. It was difficult for them to digest. And that took them at least 8 9 months. And I still remember like my first farmer meeting in Bada Hasanpur village. It's approximately 40 kilometers from Patna, and I was with uh, uh, Mr. Vinod Yadav. He is one of our first farmer who joined us, still with us, and he took me to his village and says, "Sir, I will organize a meeting. Please come, and we shall all have." And after 5 minutes, we realized I and Vinod is only there, and everybody has left the meeting because they were thinking, okay, this man is gone mad. Uh, ये तो खुद का पागल तो हो ही गया है, हमें भी पागल कर देगा. He is coming over here and talking about collective action, collective work. It's very difficult to achieve. Here we are not even telling our neighbors which variety of vegetables I am growing, and he talking about transparency, talking about we all each other, we knowing about each other costing, pricing, and all. So it was difficult for them. They did try to test my intentions, patience, but it took time. But once they realize it is the benefit for everybody, it is creating value for everybody, uh, they start trusting. They start trusting. They start believing, and it happens when they believe in you. They give you everything. They After that they stop thinking about what is income shock or anything is coming. They wholeheartedly support you and go along with you. And all those farmers who present, they are still with us, and we are like good friends. We always, yeah. And when I look at my journey, even their journey, so I feel good about like this. Vinodji is now owning a four-wheeler Bolero, so I feel happy about. Okay, now he's having the Bolero, so it's a good one.
So of course, you may have faced a lot of challenges during this journey, and like some of it has already been shared. Like for example, with the advent of malls in the retail sector, with large format stores that also stock vegetables, you lost your primary customers, which is the educated urban class, and you had to diversify into other crops such as pulses. And then you faced another problem that you had to leave the retail space altogether and become an aggregator. And then overall, what were some of the most formidable challenges that you faced? Because the ecosystem is so large and there are so many stakeholders involved, that it's very difficult to sort of have an approach uh, which is not very amenable to updates or changing or evolving. So it's what were some of the most formidable challenges that you faced, and how did sort of handle that?
Yeah, when modern retailers came to eastern part of the country, first 2 years we faced a whole lot of challenges, difficulties in managing losses and all, because our customer base was overlapping, as you rightly said, educated urban class. They were our customer, and they were slowly migrating and shifting to modern retailers. And that's where we sit together as a team, our group of farmers, and we decided instead of competing with them and burning cash, why not collaborate with them? We started working on how they could be our customer, how we could make them our customer, how we could tweak our supply chain, our value chain in a way that we would start supplying to them. Ultimately, it is going to our uh, ultimate customer, that is educated urban class. And the change was not so swift. It had a lot of hiccups and all. It took us almost 2 years. Again, learning at IIMA helped in that, like identifying their pain issues, their trouble points, and then start working, coming up with this solution, then start working on coexistence, how we to collaborate and coexist and create win-win situation for everybody. And our mentors, Captain Pavnex Kohli, ex-chairman and CEO of National uh, Cold Chain Development Corporation of Government of India, Professor Vaibhav Moria, Abhishek, they all played a critical role in guiding through that transition. As a lot of shift in our thinking process was required, because sometimes it hits the ego of the people. Okay, we were the first mover and we are not making profit now, so it took, but within 2 years we like. It also reflects the flexibility of our model and team, and we adapted to the change external environment. And I think we are one of the largest player in organized value chain management of vegetables and fruits in eastern India. I think right from Nagpur to Kolkata and Guwahati we are serving.
Mm. So, so of course, Samriddhi and Kaushalya have been fairly successful and doing really great work. But there are there are certain elements to it. There is the DNA of it, of this organization, which obviously you have built with your own hands. Uh, and there are very important elements to this organization and to the activities which set it apart from some of the other similar initiatives. What would you say are some of these key elements that set Kaushalya and Samriddhii apart from other similar initiatives?
See, our initiative is like it's a social entrepreneurship. It's not in pure form commercial enterprise, and it is based on collective action, and it's a low cost model which sets it apart. And actually, that collective actions and low cost model helps us in transforming ourselves from retailers to aggregators, because all those modern retailers realize even they are going to the farmers. If they are going directly to the farmer, they are not ending up buying or not ending up having the produce at lesser price than us. So it's I think our strength is collective action and low cost model, and you know coexistence, inclusivity, uh, those are ingrained in our model. Like we create values for everybody, values for our farmers, values for our team members, values for our even uh, customer end customers, and retailers as well. So I think that's our uniqueness about this model, which sets it apart. Because I must not say this, but one of our partner, a modern retail partner, although they are the big players, but for last 2 years they are going through the very very rough phase. And we were one, I think, only aggregator in whole in India who supported them. Okay, I realize we don't have enough money to pay our dues, but we want to continue with you. We want to keep supplying to you. You just sell our produce and give us back whatever produce you are selling. And that partnership is becoming now bigger. So it's more like we realize if retailers are closing down, so our farmers will close, because ultimately we have to find channels to make sure that vegetables and fruits from our farmers will are reaching to the consumer's table. Yeah.
Hmm. But in addition to that, I mean, these are all really important points. And fundamental to Samriddhi and Kaushalya. But in addition to that, what is perhaps not as well known is that you've also been innovating, right?
Yes.
For example, the in the initial days, of course, the ice cooled push cart that kept vegetables fresh for 5 to 6 days. That was an important innovation that
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
yeah, and of course there are possibly others which if you could shed some more light on.
Yeah,
Uh,
push carts. We were the first to come up with the packaging of vegetables. Started branding, creating brand in vegetables actually. Okay, it's no longer cauliflower. It's no longer broccoli. It's Samriddhi broccoli. You can have Samriddhi broccoli. You can ask for this, and we created these brands for fruits, vegetables, even for egg now. Bomdia eggs we have in Eastern India that we have created. Yeah, name is unique, Bomdia. So especially kids love this one. Something we created started uh, making those products a unique product from commodity, shift from commodity to a branded product that we initiated, and did a lot of work on standardizing how you actually lot of words get into that, and it's like learning at IIMA helps in all those, how you standardize the processes, how you make sure the same quality you are getting each and every time. So, all those are small learning, so it helps a lot.
I'm sure that will make a fascinating, case study at IMA, and we should, take it up sometime.
Mhm.
We should connect again later to, take it
You
forward.
know, actually, You will be surprised to know. Every year, like before COVID, we used to get interns from even from Japan, University of Kyoto and all. And I still remember in 2009, I think 9 or 10, I asked those interns to sit with my packaging team and do the analysis of each and every packaging team, how many seconds they are taking in like filling a half kg bag with lady finger, with potato and all. And we design next our assembly process, assembly line things for vegetables and all for each and every vegetable. So a lot of operation things went into that. And that guy from Japan was like, "Sir, I never realized, okay, we can do this in this and adopt all those stuff." And it really helped us in identifying which ones our sorters are good at which vegetables and at which processes, and actually clubbing those clustering. I can go on and on. So sorry.
Yeah, of course. I would love to hear a lot more about it, perhaps some other time. But the other thing that you've been really good with, and the organization has been able to pivot fairly quickly, is the ability to adapt to changing market requirements, right? Um, and that you face that multiple times, right? So I gave an example where the retailers, the big retailers came in, and then you shared another one where things have been really bad in the last couple of years, where things were not going well for them, but then you stood by them. Could you share some other examples on that front?
Like 2 years back when the COVID hit us and lockdown. I not say COVID hit us. It was the lockdown which hit. Yeah, it was the lockdown. Yeah, so uh, and it was really like our team, our farmers, and everybody were stuck. Like suddenly, you cannot ask plants not to give you fruits, right? One fine day you are going to the field. Okay, from tomorrow there will be no brinjal out of these plants. It is not going to happen that way. And the government were like struggling how like they were. It was also very new and unique experience to them, and we were really struggling. Our retailers were struggling. We were struggling, and then we decided, okay, can we make available not only to our farmers, uh, to all farmers, and we offer this to many farmers in Bihar and Jharkhand in almost many districts, free transportation. Okay, because we realize keep in urban area people are looking for vegetables. People are looking for vegetables. They need something to eat, and since there is a lockdown, transportation is not happening. So from field to that, then we come up with this offering free transportation, hired trucks and all, work day and night with the government to take permissions. Okay, our trucks can flow our those vehicles and all. And it was like I think generally I cry. I do not cry much, but in March 2020 and April, cried a lot. But because when you see farmers are crying, it's a difficult thing, because our farmers are small and marginal. If you are losing their crops, they will be like on the road. They will have to uh, take money on credit and all to survive. So it was not so pleasant experience, but we survived. We together survived, and we came up strongly with more strong bond. And yes, we survived.
That's a telling point, because that's a persistent point in our context, in our geography, and particularly in India. Sustainability of farmer income, and raising farmer incomes has been one of the most intractable and difficult problems the country has faced. Based on your experiences on the ground and having done this with for so long at the grassroots level, what would you say are the top 3 or 4 systemic things or systemic measures that would help raise farmer incomes in the long term?
I'd say uh, we as a country have to find ways how we can increase per acreage investment in agriculture. Most of the investment, especially public investment, is going to the large farmers. The small and marginal farmers are not getting those investments. Like when government is saying, okay, we will give you subsidy on the tractor. So it is going to the large farmer, not to the farmer who is owning uh, 1 acre of land, because it's mostly more than 4 acres of land who is owning is getting those subsidies. So there are many stuffs. So a paradigm shift in our public policy is required, where you must start thinking of a small and marginal farmer, knowing the fact, especially in Bihar and UP, your almost 90% farmers are small and marginal. Gone are the days when you had big farmers. So our policy needs more tweaking towards these farmers, and we have to find ways. We have to come up with the policy which actually facilitates more and more private investment. It is a rural area, villages are still not so conducive policy wise, I would say. Geographically, demographically, they are very conducive, they are very receptive, but policy wise, a lot of work is still to be done to encourage private investment as well. And second is, we have to promote crop diversification if we really want we as a nation of cereal producer or surplus, cereal surplus or grain surplus, to survive or to sustain our population. We have to find ways to for crop diversification as well, because most of the our government policies actually promote not to diversify. Actually, they are telling us, please don't diversify, go for paddy only, go for wheat only, because we are buying everything that you are producing. So my argument is like, you can offer the similar prices, similar services for other crop as well, man. All the farmers are same. Why you are doing justice to somebody who is choosing the same crop every year? So crop diversification is a need of the hour. And third, I would say low cost and I would say low cost storage infrastructure is needed at panchayat level. It is like since the beginning, like for last 15 years, I have been telling this. We want to give subsidy on cold storages and all. It is not going to take shape, because if I am a farmer who is living in two room house, how can you expect me to store our produce for longer period in those big storage facilities? It is not going to happen. I need something at my panchayat level at very low cost. Like when you want to increase the irrigation capability of farmer, you are offering electricity subsidy and all. Please think of how we can create those storage infrastructure which would be very low cost, like low rental. Like I know many our potato farmers, they do not want to store their potato at a cold storages, because they are saying, "Sir, rental is too high, we cannot afford it, even if we want." So we need to understand, we really come up with infrastructure which is conducive to those small, marginal and landless. And last but not the least, it's ultra important. We need to invest in, or we need to innovate technology and promote technologies which are scale and gender neutral. The landscape of rural area has changed a lot in last 15 years. We have been experiencing most of the works. Now slowly it's the women farmer who are doing. But still technologies are not conducive to that. Many technologies they are still depending on male members or male to operate those technologies. It is not that we don't have brain in India, but we have to uh, promote or give a stimulus to okay to have innovations and technology which actually more scale and generate. I think these 4 or 5 could be steps which could help farmers in increasing their because it's we need more like most of the our farmers are not so happy about the current scheme of things. Uh, like most of our vegetable farmers, they rarely go for government schemes. You know, we have to find out the reasons. We tried, but government machinery is still not tweaked to help those. They are still tweaked to help those big farmers. So we need to come up with. Yeah.
Mm. And these are, of course, formidable challenges in a sense because there is a lot that needs to be done to get to there because there
Yeah.
are a lot of intermediary steps that have to be taken because these are all fairly involved kind of initiatives which will necessitate a lot of these intermediary steps to to even get it off the ground. Do you think Kaushalya or Samriddhi will be able to assist that in some manner in any of these initiatives, any of these measures that you mentioned?
Yes, yes, we are already working extensively with the government and government agencies. Like one of the project that we are working with Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, where we and Indian Council of Agriculture Research, we too are promoting very high value crops for the small and marginal farmers in Bihar and Jharkhand. We are promoting strawberry and broccoli farming amongst farmers who are owning like 1 kattha, 2 kattha, like 100 square feet, 2000 square feet of land. And we showcased that these small farmers, these are not so-called educated in your eyes, but they can successfully also grow crop something like a strawberry, and they are selling it at 150 to 400 rupees per kg, and they are making good money. And we showcased it, and I think in November we had a presentation around this, and Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, they appreciated it. Okay, this is something which we never believed that our small marginal farmers could do this. So I think it's how you're taking this technology to them, and we must be thankful to ICAR and their scientists. They actually scaled on those technologies and make it readily available to the farmers. They actually farmer believed, okay, we can go about this. We can do this even in one parcel of land. So yeah, we are working extensively and we are trying to create more and more these stuffs. And we are also working extensively in promoting farmers collective, a farmer producer organization. And farmer producer organization actually helps in creating economy of a scale and reaping the benefit of the economy and scaling and all. So we since beginning we had promoted and we are promoting 15 new farmer producer organization and in places like Ayodhya.
Mm. And so, what are the some of the key focus areas for Kaushalya Foundation in the medium term, short to medium term? What are putting your mind to and making sure that these are some of the milestones that you would want to achieve in the next few days or a few months or a couple of
Uh,
years?
as an organization, I think last 2 years this Corona experience has brought in lot of changes in our thinking process as a team. in our mindset as well. And initially, we were focusing uh, more on agriculture only. But in last 2 years, we realized, okay, we have to go beyond that, and we have to think about our community and their family members as well. And in short term, long term, we are thinking about how we could create an education ecosystem or something which could be helpful to our community and their wards. And we has one experiment that we started 6 months back. We call it Bunyadi Shiksha School, and we started with one, and five more has opened this month only. And now people are liking it. Okay, this is ultra low cost, and we are getting what urban kids are getting in urban areas. Like, we have not done very unique thing. We have done the normal stuff. We have hired volunteers who could go there on daily basis and teach for 2 hours, and through big LED screen. And he takes downloadable materials with him or her and go there and upload it, and all kids, they enjoy it and they learn it. So slowly it is taking shape, and it's the community which provided the space and everything. We as a team provided those LED screens and coming with the money to pay those volunteers. And we are saying others are also adopting. So one step we have started, and we really want to make it now big. How we can make it big, and so that more and more children can get a good education. Because without education and knowledge, because the way economy has transformed in last 2 years, it has become more and more knowledge based economy. So we need more human power who are having those.
So what's next for Kaushalendra the person? You know, um, are there any personal milestones you are looking forward to or working towards?
Yes, short term is like 6 years back, I handed over the operations and key of my commercial venture to uh, second generation of leaders, and they are managing it really beautifully. And so my short-term goal is to hand over this Kaushalya Foundation also to uh, leaders, second generation of leaders, and I hopefully they will take it up. And long, medium term and long term goal is like I just talked about education stuff. Uh, we need a society to talk about this. A lot of inequality which is going on. We are not realizing that this is also affecting whether your child is studying at various good school or college, but your child is studying, others 99 child are not studying. They are going to those negatives, those drawbacks going to hamper your growth as well. It's not that you alone can run this economic train of India. We need everybody, and we need equitable input and responsible action from everybody. And to do that, to run this economic train of India, socio-economic train of India, we need to give equal opportunity to all human resources. And we need to talk about, in last 2 years, a lot of inequalities has been created. And so medium term goal is how as a person I can go about and create those uh, education infrastructure. I would not say, but system where they can be confident about. And how these education stuff started actually. Uh, I was in my village, in fact. I was in my village, and I had this habit of running in the morning. So I was running in my village road in the morning, and after some time I realized there are two, three young kids like who are third class or fifth class. They are running behind me. So I asked them, okay, you are running good. You run there. So no, we don't run there. So why? So I just thought I follow you. I follow you where you are going, because for them it was like this person must be going somewhere. That's why he is running. They never realize for health you are running, right? As a kid, you never realize this. Then I started talking with them, and then conversation went around the study and the school. Then I asked, told them jokingly, "It's good, no? Schools are closed. You must be very happy about. You are not supposed to go to a schools and all." And they become very sad. No, they become very sad actually. And they said, "Actually, we want to go to a school." Because at home we are not doing any other stuff. We are doing home job, like we are working in the field, or we are doing some home chores, some and cooking with my mother and doing dusting of my home. So I think we want to go to schools. Whether just why whether we study over there or not, it's a material, but we want to go. First priority, okay, to play over there, but we want to go. And I realized, okay, it is the need. And then from my village we started a small experiment, and that not take shape as Bunyadi school. And everybody were apprehensive, students will not come. And for last 6 months not a single students have been found absent willingly. If they are sick, they are not coming. If they are not at home, they are not coming. Otherwise they come on time every day. So लगा कि okay, we can do. There are a hell lot of scope for creative, positive actions for these kids, so that tomorrow they may become Kaushalendra or Anurag.
That's a that's an inspiring journey that you have, and of course there's a lot more to come. Uh, so, but there are a lot of students and there are a lot of people, I'm sure, who are possibly in the same situation where you were, when you were in school and you were thinking about your options and the kind of things that you wanted to do. What would you, advise them? What would be your advice to them, about social entrepreneurship?
Ah, my advice would be to first task that you do, you must take a pen and paper and write it down why you want to get into this. What's your objective is. At times I have seen many are getting into this, okay, I will get name, fame, and hell lot of money as well. Oh, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. Okay, thank you. Uh, so take a pen and pencil and write. Okay, this is my objective. That's why I want to. Why I'm telling this? Because you will go through the period. You will go through the phase. There you will find, okay, your classmates, your batchmates, they are roaming around in swanky cars and living in swanky houses, and you are still stuck up with those 2 BHK home. And at that time, it will be those objectives. Okay, it was my dream to see smiling faces, 2 million of smiling faces. It was my dream to create values for these people. It was not in my objective. And believe me, when you start working with these, money will come automatically. It will also come. But initial period for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you need these things in within you. Okay, I will stick to this. My objective is this. With this objective I want to do this. This is not an adventure that you are taking. It is a journey that you are taking which is going to define your life. And I always believe, like, I consider Mahatma Gandhi as a god. I all like when you will walk in my home and office, you will find a lot of books of Mahatma Gandhi. Because for me, he is like a living god. He lived on this earth 100 years ago, and we are living in his country. Because I always try to imagine his situation, returning from London, returning from Africa, working over here, and decided to not wear any clothes. It is not an easy stuff to do. And by the way, he was the son of a divan. Divan is like a minister, right? He was so it was not an easy step for him to do all those stuff, and he decided to go and live there. But every moment he cherished. He lived for the community, for the purpose, for the objective that he had chosen. So I always believe in his quote, like when you start something, especially on this journey, people will first ignore you, then they will laugh at you, and they will fight with you. And the moment they start fighting, you must start winning. Now you are winning. So believe in this, and this journey is really very very beautiful. Uh, Millions cannot buy their smiles on faces, but this journey, by creating social capital, you can bring smiles on faces, and most importantly, your actions, your social entrepreneur journey is going to bring systematic changes, which is going to be long lasting, and it will live beyond you. It's more about systematic changes. It's not only about Kaushalendra and Samriddhii. Samriddhii has brought in systematic change in government mindset. They were on the basis of our model, they come up with the policies where they started offering subsidies for vegetable farmers. They started thinking about through our lenses. Okay, prices are going high because there is something wrong with in the backward linkages of the chain. So so many steps happened. I think we were the first in 2005-7 talking about farmer producer organization. Now government is talking about farmer producer organization is the way to go for this. So it all gives. And last but the least, you will also get recognized by your alma mater. So it's not an easy because the most difficult task and the most difficult part of this journey is to get recognition from alma mater, because most of your batchmates have taken the different routes, you have taken the different routes, very difficult. But yes, I owe a lot to IIMA, and just believe in the processes and things that you are learning at IIMA, and especially the two things, ethics and integrity. This is something which help you at each and every step.
Well, Kaushalendra, it was a pleasure talking to you and learning a lot more about the space that you're in. And I'm sure it will be enlightening for a lot of us because we don't have the insights that you have shared with us. It is really going to be enlightening for a lot of us, alumni, faculty, students listening to this. And thank you very much for being here and talking to us. And you know, good day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Anurag. And once again, I'm very, very thankful to IIMA for bestowing me with this award. And my words are not enough to express how honored and how honored I feel when I received this award. And I received this award the day I also blessed with a baby girl on 11th of December 2021. So it's a really very, very precious. I always feel
Yes, yeah, and unfortunately, we were not able to have you with us here when we were having that event on campus. But then that was for a very good reason, and
yes.
you were blessed with the baby girl. And so this is a really fortuitous turn of events, and I'm really I really hope that this is a birth of another life for you, and we really look forward to a lot more from you, and having a lot more impact on the lives of farmers throughout the country. Yeah, thank you, Kaushalendra.
Right.
Bye bye.